The first time I met Evelyn, she called me young man, even though I was 27, and she was 71. The second time we met, she saved my life. I never planned to work at a retirement center. I'd lost my job a month earlier, broke my lease, and moved back home. My mom said, "Go do something useful with your time. People need you." So I did. On my first day at Mapleview, I was assigned to help with the evening tea service. That's when Evelyn shuffled up to me, cane in one hand, eyebrows raised like she was permanently unimpressed. "You look nervous," she said. "I'm not," I lied. She smirked. "Kid, I've had plants that lied better." Something about her confidence, sharp, warm, almost mischievous, pulled me in. We talked for 15 minutes about everything, music, books, the weather, and how she once escaped a boring dinner party by pretending to faint. She was funny. And she made me forget how lost I felt in my own life. When I brought her tea the next evening, I joked, "If we were the same age, I'd visit you every night." Evelyn didn't blink. She leaned closer, eyes steady, voice soft. "Tell me something, sweetheart, does age really matter?" The question hit harder than I expected. Maybe because she asked it like she wasn't talking about romance, she was talking about connection. People. Souls. Hearts. And hers? Hers felt brighter than anyone I knew my age. Twist number 1, the night everything changed. 2 weeks later, I found Evelyn sitting alone in the garden, blanket over her knees, staring at the sky. "You okay?" I asked. She didn't answer at first. Then she whispered, "Everyone's leaving." I thought she meant the staff going home. But she shook her head. "My friends, all of them. One by one." Her voice cracked. "I'm the last of my group." Something inside me twisted. She wasn't just lonely, she was grieving a life that was slowly fading around her. Without thinking, I sat beside her. "You're not alone." She chuckled. "You're paid to say that." "I'm paid to bring tea," I said. "This part? This is free." And that's when she started crying. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just silent tears of someone who'd been strong for far too long. I wrapped an arm around her. She held my hand, tight, like she was afraid I'd disappear too. That night, I stayed after my shift. I didn't even notice the time until a nurse called out, "You're still here?" Evelyn looked at me and whispered, "See? You visited me tonight." Twist number 2, the secret she'd been hiding. 3 months passed. I visited her every day, sometimes to help, sometimes to talk, sometimes just to sit quietly. Then, one afternoon, she grabbed my wrist. "Promise you won't get upset?" "Depends," I said. "Am I about to hear you used to be a spy?" She laughed so hard she wheezed. "No, child. But I do have a confession." She reached for a small notebook under her pillow and pressed it into my hands. Inside were sketches. Drawings. Moments. Me bringing her tea. Me reading to her. Me fixing her blanket. Me laughing. "You drew these?" I whispered. She nodded. "You brought color back into my life." I needed to hold on to it somehow. I swallowed hard. Because I realized something. I hadn't just helped her. She had healed me too. In a time when I felt directionless, invisible, and useless, she made me feel seen. The emotional climax, a question I never expected. Winter arrived early that year. Evelyn's health dipped. Some days she was alert, some days she drifted. One especially cold evening, a nurse pulled me aside. "Maybe spend a little more time with her tonight." My chest tightened. When I walked into her room, she opened her eyes slowly. "You came," she whispered. "Of course. She smiled faintly. You kept your promise. Then she reached for my hand, the same way she had that night in the garden, and said something I'll never forget. If souls have ages, yours is the same as mine. I felt tears burning behind my eyes. How do you mean? You love deeply, she whispered. You care fiercely. You listen. That's an old soul. A pause. Maybe that's why we found each other. She brushed my cheek with her thumb. And that's why age doesn't really matter. At that moment, everything inside me broke, and then healed at the same time. She wasn't talking about romance. She was talking about connection that transcends years. About kindness. About humanity. About two souls meeting exactly when they needed each other most. Final twist, her last gift. 2 weeks later, Evelyn passed away quietly in her sleep. When I came to her room, the nurses handed me her sketchbook. But inside, tucked in the back pocket, was a sealed envelope with my name written in shaky handwriting. I opened it slowly. You gave me back my laughter. You gave me warmth. You gave me a reason to wake up every day. Promise me something. Visit others the way you visited me. Age doesn't matter, hearts do. I cried for a long time. Not because I lost her, but because she left me with purpose. Uplifting ending, the legacy of a conversation. Today, I still work at Mapleview. Not because it was convenient. Not because it was temporary. But because one woman reminded me that the smallest kindness can change an entire life. Every night, when I sit with residents who feel forgotten or alone, I hear her voice in my memory. Does age really matter? And I finally understand the answer. No. What matters is the heart you touch while you're here. And the love you leave behind.